I'm really excited to share with you the next live conversation which I had with Lucianne Lassalle, the sculptor. Some of her work for you to see while I introduce. She gave us a most wonderful insight into her working process, which is an artist I'm really interested in. How she conceives of her ideas, how she initially explores the movement of the pose, and then how she converts that into some of her incredible bronze and ceramic sculptures. So I hope you enjoy this. It does include a little bit of fire. Really grateful to Lucianne for sharing her time and being so open about her work. Okay.
Hello. Hello.
Fantastic! How easy was that? Wonderful.
Yeah, I have to squat for some reason when I'm talking.
Oh.
I'll get
Well, I better do a bit of an introduction while you sort your camera on.
you do these stuff. That's not good.
Right, so I'm absolutely delighted to be joined by this wonderful person here. This is Lucianne Lassalle, the sculptor. So further to the previous Artist Connect with Sarah Manolescu, Lucianne has very kindly agreed not just to talk to me, but also to give us a really, I'm so excited about this, a little demo. So we can see inside her studio, and she's going to give us a little look in a minute. Lucianne and I met on a workshop which was in the Royal West of England Academy in Bristol by Alan McGowan, and Alan was teaching drawing and painting from the figure, and we both work from the figure a lot. And from the first wry aside that Lucianne gave, I knew she was a twin soul, and luckily we're both in Bristol, but we're in different parts of Bristol. So here we are, and I'm really thrilled. So it's really exciting. I've not done any sculpture at all myself, so we are. I'm hoping that Lucianne will give us a little look round and tell us a little bit about her technique and what she's thinking about when she's doing it. So, Lucianne, how are you?
I'm fine.
Good. Warm and dry.
Yeah, everything's good. It's raining outside, and I'm very happy in my fabulous studio. Thank you for inviting me to have a little chat with you.
Oh, it looks amazing. It looks amazing. Are you able to give us a little look round? Is it portable, this device? Wonderful.
My little phone. I'll pick it up. Hold on to your seat so you don't get dizzy, and I'll just do reverse, okay?
Okay. Okay, brilliant.
Okay.
Wow.
So
that is the real McCoy.
That's one of my walls where I stick bits and pieces, wall pieces.
Yeah.
Most of these are kind of reliefs because obviously they go on the wall. So there's a mixture of stuff there. There's a little picture, bas relief, Love and the Devil.
So are those commissions? Are they commissions, Lucianne, or your own?
I generally don't do commissions. I do. I mean, if I'm asked, I will consider it. But generally, I like to just do what I do, and people, if they like it, then you know, that's up to them. But generally, I don't. But as I said, I'm open to them, and I have done the odd commission. So this just going around my studio here. I've done a bit of pottery as well. The bowl I made there.
Oh wow! I didn't know you did that. It's an absolute Aladdin's cave.
Well, Aladdin doesn't live here, but I do. Yeah, so
did you?
The little bowl I did here.
Oh wow!
That's
wow.
Graffito.
You do work in ceramics, don't you? Sometimes you sculpt in ceramics, I think.
Well, I sculpt in clay, and sometimes I fire it. So these two figures here, for example, are both just in the corner of my studio, both fired clay, and they're quite large. Let me just show you my hand. My hand. Oh, here it is. Oh, hand on the breast. So they're quite
right,
big.
yes, yeah.
Yeah. So here we are, a couple of pieces here. These are actually resin pieces. This is Adam.
Oh, right. Hello, Adam. Wow.
Bronze resin. I've just had a commission for him in bronze, so it's a limited edition of 3. That's number 2. I've just haven't done in bronze, but that's at the foundry at the moment. This is a piece I finished last year, which is in resin, iron resin. It's got iron filings in, and I add salt.
Oh, right. Wow.
Yeah, I spray it with salt, and then you get this lovely kind of rusty effect.
Yes. Yeah. They're amazingly real. They just look so fluid and like they could just breathe.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Well, I use a model.
Yeah,
I do use a model for most. Well, all my work has a model practically at some point or other during my process. These are the 3 disgraces. Yeah. Tom, Dick, and Harry.
I love the 3 disgraces. Brilliant. A wonderful trio, and one of them's been moonlighting, I think, perhaps.
Yes. Well, his girlfriend, his secret lover, is actually, she's wrapped up over here, and I'll show you her later if you like. I'm just in the middle of making her. That was actually,
amazing.
Yeah, it's a commission piece. I've got a customer of mine has got this Tom in bronze, and he's been pining for someone to accompany him. The sculpture, that is. So I'm making this little lady, which I'll show you in a minute, who is she's a Miss Grace, not a disgrace. She's a Miss Grace.
Yes.
I'll talk about that later. So there we go. Yeah. Studios, little bits, these little clay wax I use.
Wow, there's Rambo.
No, that's not Rambo. This is Rambo. Okay.
Ah, right.
So this,
okay, yeah.
That's Rambo, and these are the little. I'll talk to you about that as well. These are mini Rambos. Yeah. This is a 3D print.
Oh wow! Gosh, they're tiny. Fantastic.
Yeah, that's a little 3D print of the big Rambo. Whoa.
Oh, that's amazing. That reminds me of a tiny little Mercury figurine that I found in the Carinium Museum. Like these, amazing. It's so powerful, and being small doesn't detract at all from the power. Yeah.
So this is a wild beast. This is inspired from the Rambo. It's like part of the Rambo series, if you like, or the what I call the Topped Up series, which is sort of part of this series here, which I tend to work in kind of series. These guys here, these are the.
Oh wow!
Yeah. Okay, so first of all, I start with I've got an armature. If I'm doing in clay, which I always make stuff in clay first. So I use an armature, which is this.
Mm-hmm.
And then I use this wire, which is aluminium wire, which is used. It's square, so the clay, and you twist it, and the clay on it, and you can bet it's very, very bendy. So you can just So I'll build up. This is an old one here that I made a long time ago. I usually reuse them. Yeah. And then I attach that. It gets attached to this.
I see.
I don't know if you can see, but anyway. And then I pile the clay.
It's like a gesture drawing then, is it? Like you capture the gesture with that wire first?
Yeah. Yeah, I use the wire. Well, I use the wire to get the feeling, the gesture. But I also, when I start, I have, I start with a feeling, really, of what I want to put across. So I usually stand in front of the mirror like this, and then I go.
Oh yes, hello. So you use yourself initially. Fantastic.
So I'll use. I kind of get the feeling with my own body of what I want. I kind of like viscerally, and also the shape. The sort of the movement, which is expressing something inside. So, yeah, so really the movement in my figures is an expression of what's going on inside, really, which is, you know, NLP people will tell you all about that. Yeah, so I do that, and then I get the wire and I kind of move it around, and then I start putting the clay on, and I carry on moving it until I've sort of got the feeling that I want. Okay.
Yes.
And then what might happen is, like, for example, on my Misaligned, working title, I actually had to cut her ankles and add an extra centimetre. So I will be manipulating it quite far gone, just to get it right, just to get, might be slightly in the proportion. It might not have enough oomph in it, or I might have to tilt the head a bit more or something to give it more. It's a bit like acting in a way, because it's almost like you have to do a little bit more to get the feeling across.
Oh, right. So you sort of ham it up then? It's like a hammed up. Like a hammed up version. Is it hammed up?
I don't like to say ham because it sounds a bit crass. Maybe it's crass. Could be crass. No, it's more accentuated. Yeah. Just to get that, to really amplify that feeling. This is just, I was just playing the other day, right? This is just a little, this is a, and it's on the wire. Yes. Yeah. And then sometimes what I do is I'll make a little wax figure, and then I'll put the clay on it.
Oh, wow.
Manipulate little sort of, you know, and then I can do some interesting things with it.
I see, gosh.
And, you know, if I like it, then I might, this is really mad now. This is a mad one. Okay.
Very flexible. Yeah.
And then I might use that as a maquette for a clay. But generally, so these I generally don't keep. Every now and then I will keep one. Like, for example,
these things that you do routinely, to those of us who haven't had a life as a sculptor, are very exotic and interesting.
Oh, right. Okay, good. Well, this is a maquette that is broken because it's in wax, and it's a little pulled out of the mould, and the guy who did it got broken, which is okay, it usually happens. So this was a starting point for my latest piece, which I'll show you in a minute. And so I liked that pose. So what I did, this was a sketch, so it took me about a couple of hours or something, just sketching it from the model.
Wow. Yep.
And then this is a very rough cast. In fact, so rough, I'm very embarrassed to show you because it's all misaligned. Misaligned. You can see the edge of the thing here where it's not meeting up properly. So this work out. But I use that now as a rough maquette, which is now being worked on in twice the size, basically.
Right. So you have it alongside what you're working on then. So you have your maquette, and then you scale up just looking by eye. Do you use just eye, or do you measure? Or
no, I just do it by eye. And also it changes. Poses change now from that because it's become Tom's secret lover.
Lucky Tom. So you make it large scale in clay, is that right? Clay on a metal frame?
On an armature, yes. It's not, I wouldn't say it was large. My work, it's kind of it's about, on average, about 60 centimetres, my large. So Rambo here he's about 60 centimetres, I suppose.
Oh, right, okay, so he's quite big. And I suppose they can go in houses and gardens and other situations.
Yeah. So
that's scale. Yeah.
Yeah. It is an indoor, I mean, I know someone who's got one in their garden, and he sent me pictures of it frosted up in the snow. It looks great. Other people prefer to have him inside because they love him so much and they want to see him in their living room all the time. I'm going to hand hold this. Apologies for the jiggling about.
It's fine. It's fine.
This is a mould here. This is a mould for this piece here. Okay.
Okay.
It's little Venus. Okay, so this is a rubber mould, silicon rubber. Okay. So this, that's the two halves of the mould. So basically, I had the little figure. I covered it in silicon rubber, and I made a little wall around the edge of the figure, so it was in two parts. Put silicon. I'm just going to do it really quick. Say it really quickly because it's complex.
Yeah, it's fine. It's great because you've got pictures. So it's because we can see. You don't need too many words. Yeah.
Yeah. So I made a two-part mould, which is two parts there, 1, 2.
Yeah.
And then I put. So this is the rubber. You can see it's quite floppy. Yeah. So it doesn't hold its shape.
Right.
It's used for detail, so you don't have to worry about undercuts. So you can actually pull whatever you've got, your sculpture, when you pour the resin or the wax into the mould, you can pull it out without any problems. In the old days, they used to have moulds used to have like multiple in plaster all the way round.
Right.
So they pull it off like this.
Yeah.
But, you know, so you had to have lots and lots of moulds for one piece, but this you only need two. So basically the two moulds done, the plaster is to hold it so it doesn't wobble, to hold it's called the mother mould. So that's the plaster, yeah. Then I'm doing this with one hand. Oops, then you put the two together, okay?
Right.
This is rather old, homemade by moi. And then at the end it's a little hole there. There you pour.
Okay.
If you're going to do it in bronze, you pour wax into that hole, hot wax, which I do here. It's my hot wax department.
Right.
This is green.
Is that a hand? Is that a foot?
Yeah. That's someone's foot. Someone who had a bit of an accident, didn't work out. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh dear.
So,
yeah, that's quite an accident.
Back into the pot. Yes.
Like into the primordial sludge.
Yeah, that's it. It is like that. Yeah.
Caroline, who's joined, is asking whose foot that was in the wax pot.
Oh, that's Tom's foot. Well, I was doing another wax of Tom because the resin that I've got is going to go to a gallery soon. So I needed another wax so I could use it to work on his girlfriends because I wanted to put them together. So I needed to have a copy of Tom. Yeah. So then you pour that, you melt the wax, then you pour the wax in. Swish it about, and then out comes, this is an old one, it's gone a bit warped now, okay. Now I broke off the feet and the hands and the head because I preferred it without. I preferred the figure, just the form, like a torso, like a fragment, like a piece of ancient something or other, you know. I just liked the emphasis on the figure and the body rather than on a character or a personality.
Right.
So that's where it became a fragment. But some of them I cast with feet and some of them without. So this was the wax, and I took that to the foundry, and the foundry then cast that into bronze. So they make another mould. They put what they call sprues all over it, which are now on this piece here. This is a wax. This is a bronze. So this is the bronze here. This was picked up at the foundry before they finished it, because this particular foundry actually closed down. So before they finished it, and I kept it like this and mounted it because I really liked the effect. So basically, what I'm showing you this for is because on this you can see there's kind of bumps.
Yes, yeah. And that's where the seepage, is it?
Yes, this is called flashing. So this is when they make a mould over top of the wax, and when they pour the bronze into the mould, the wax is melted out beforehand, and they pour the bronze in, and you get where the mould cracks a little bit, and then you get this kind of stuff around here. And they normally cut this off and grind it back.
Right.
And these screws, which were the air vents, which came up like that, they just cut them off roughly. and I just kept them on because I just quite like them. So
Yeah,
there you go.
it's a wonderful reflection of the process, the parts of the process. Yeah.
Yeah.
It accentuates the gesture as well, doesn't it? The way it's kind of wrapped around like that at the front.
Does. Yeah. I mean, I like it. But this is one without it. This is just a plain bronze here.
Yeah.
It's just the plain bronze. It's not mounted. I've just, so you can see her.
So when you see a piece of bronze in a gallery, then it has come to the sculptor in the way that you're showing that one with the what did you call it? Not flashing, the
Sprues.
those edges.
Flashing.
Yeah. So it's got that on it, and then you have to file it off, do you, for each piece that's cast?
The foundry does that. So I get it in the state next to it normally.
Right. Right.
Yeah. But it's because the foundry basically they closed down, and they just said, take these, and I said, yeah, okay, great. So now the next process is patination, which is, I'm going to show you this. This is the patination project, okay, folks?
Okay, this is something that I've come to be known by an old marketing friend of mine. So this is lifting the kimono.
There he is.
Wow.
There he is. This is Rambo in bronze. This is a commission. Someone said, I want a Rambo in bronze.
While you set up, I'll just blether for a second. So you patinate to order, do you, Lucianne? If there's a sculpture that someone's interested in, they can request. Can they request a different finish? Is this what you're effectively doing? Have I understood it right?
If somebody wants me to do it in green or in black or in brown, black with green, like he's going to be dark browny black with a greeny copper furry neck and pubics.
Yeah. Yes. Amazing.
Yeah. So they can ask me to do that. Generally, customers usually just like what I've done before because they don't really know, But I've had the odd customer who said, "Oh, I'd really like you to do, this little lady in green or whatever." So, okay, I'm just going to. Can you see okay there?
There, now I can see you. Yeah, wonderful, wonderful.
Okay, well, I'm going to have to move around him, and I've got to be careful.
Fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Fine. Yeah.
All right. Let's get on with it. Okay. I've got my light thing. Sorry, I'm just being a silly video. I did a performing arts masters, and I've secretly wanted to be an actress all my life. You see, so this is a good opportunity to show off a bit.
You go for it. It's amazing. Wow, it's incredible. All drama is welcome on this channel.
I'm just going to open up. Now, if everything goes up in, like the phone goes black, I've set fire to it by accident.
Okay. Right.
You're all right.
Okay. Like Rambo's version of a sunbed. Yes, EJ says no risk assessment needed for us. We're just basically being dangerous vicariously, Lucianne. It's really exciting. I feel the danger. Wow. Yes, EJ says potassium sulfide is used in Asia for fireworks.
Great. Well, there you go.
Amazing. It's brilliant to watch. That's incredible.
Yeah, it's like magic, isn't it?
Yes. It changes the sculpture so much. It changes the look of it, the shadows and the reflections. Is it matte or shiny?
Well, it's matte, but it can be. I'll wax it later, but I'm not doing any more now because it'll take up too much time. I can finish it later.
Okay.
This stuff's some patination, some patinations you can't really abandon in the middle of it because it just doesn't work because you can't reheat it.
Oh, right.
I mean. So if I'm white or whitey green copper nitrate, if I reheat it, unless I'm really careful, it will go yellow, it'll burn.
Oh, okay.
So this one, it's okay to just leave it halfway. So I just do photo opportunity because I quite like it.
Oh, well, that's amazing. It's just incredible. I absolutely love it. It's so fascinating to see that what's behind the finished article. That I had no idea that there were so many steps in the process, and he looks absolutely incredible. I love how you've got that dripping down his legs as well. I've seen some of the work that you've done where sometimes you leave things, don't you, with drips?
Yeah, I have done. I haven't done a lot. There's one that I photographed actually of Tom. I left the drips, but the thing is that the bronze will actually go dark brown naturally. So I suppose you can spray it with something to stop it going brown.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. On the other hand, but so I did. Was kind of like a dark brown patina with black running down it. But then what happened to the black is it actually, because I wanted to keep it matte, it started to go green with because the potassium sulfide, sometimes it comes out like green. I must have a bit of copper or something in it. I don't know. Maybe it gets.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
Lucianne, are you able to turn the camera around?
Can't you see it?
Fantastic. Yeah, now I can see. It's you we can't see. That's perfect. Yeah. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about where you're showing your work, where people can get hold of if they want to know more about your sculpture and to get in touch with you. And what you've got, what you're working on. I don't know. It might be top secret. Anything that you can. It's just interesting to know what's on the horizon for you.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm thinking of. I'm at the moment just starting a new series, which I'm calling the Miss Graces. So they're a kind of follow-on from my 3 disgraces, which is the 3. I don't know if you can see the 3 guys at the back there. There.
Oh, there they are. Yeah.
Yeah. So they are kind of the 3 Miss Graces they're going to be kind of streetwise gals. And one of them is a companion for Tom, but I'm actually doing like a limited edition and a standalone sculptures all there as a triptych. So that's kind of my future project. I've been trying to work out just a bit of fun on Facebook. I ask people for names, and I've got about 1 billion names. Miss Strude, Miss the Bus, I don't know. There was all sorts. Miss Anthrop, Miss, yeah, that's it.
I liked Miss Tree. I could imagine like a tree, but I don't. You may already have in your head a sense of what they're going to be. But do you have it all planned in your head, or is it just waiting to unfold?
They kind of unfold as I think about them, and I get inspiration just I might be walking down the street, or like the other day I got a Domino. I think it was a Domino. No, it was a fitness club advertising their reopening, you know, and on the cover there was this, of the flyer, there was this woman in this amazing position, you know, doing some weights or something, you know, and I thought, well, that, I grabbed that into my little sort of file in my brain for potential pose for
yes, yeah,
Miss Grace. So yeah, so that's kind of the next thing. Also, I'm getting Rambo 3D scanned. Well, he's been 3D scanned, but 3D printed to a size more like this size, more this size, with his arms down.
Right.
So he'll be like this, but this size. And so that I'm doing I'm going to have that. I'm having that printed at the moment, and that's going to be in resin, bronze resin, because he's been very, very popular. He's got a cult following.
Yes,
and,
I can see one. Yes.
Yes, I might do some smaller ones because he's sold out in resin and he's getting there in bronze. So, yeah, so that's on the horizon. So that's quite fun because that's a whole new area, like the 3D printing and scanning. You saw the little...
Yeah. Yes, because you can play around with scale then, can't you, without having to remodel. Yeah.
Yeah, so I could, but what people don't know about 3D printing, people think that it's, you know, you just print this off and then sell it in the shops, but actually no, you have to make a mould from this and then cast it the same way as you would anything else. And these are actually not cheap to produce. So it wouldn't be worth my while selling them. I mean, they'd be very expensive. So I have to do, so you have to take a mould from 3D print and then reproduce it from there. So
right. So a bit of a variation on what you've just talked us through in terms of moulding and then you patinate and all that stuff. Yeah.
You don't have to mould that big. So that's I've still got Proton. I'm patinating. That's the next one of my next projects.
Right.
That's Proton.
And all these people can see these on your website, can't they? I know you've got some fantastic photos of these sculptures on your website. But we're failing dismally to keep to under 20 minutes. I told you this would happen.
Sorry if anyone got bored.
I don't think they have. Least of all me. It's brilliant.
So
okay.
What's happening with you at the moment? Now it's been one way.
I'm my sort of self-directed projects go on hold in about September, and the only thing I really do is live drawing for my own amusement, and I just go full tilt dog portraits and children, which is brilliant. I really enjoy it, and so I've got a pile of them all framed up waiting to be posted or collected behind. I can't show you because it's such a mess. And this year I've got some more oil painting commissions, which is really exciting. So long may the schools stay open, is what I say. So thank you, teachers of the world, for keeping my children out from under my feet and that's not your only purpose, obviously, giving them an enriching education. And yeah, so, and thank you, Lucianne. This is really, really great. I knew it would be fantastic, and you didn't disappoint. It's really so interesting. All right, lovely to see you, Lucianne. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Gary.
Bye. Bye. Just to say, I'm going to edit this down and then I'll share it on Instagram TV later when I've had a chance to.
Out.
Pardon?
Bad bits out.
Get your bits out.
Cut all the bad bits out, all my silly face.
Oh, cut the bad bits out. Oh, that won't take very long.
Thanks so much for watching. If you're interested in seeing some of my work, please check out my website or have a look on my Instagram and Facebook. Or if you want to see more of these videos, then hit subscribe. And I hope to see you again soon. Leave a comment or send me a message. I'm always happy to hear from people. Bye.